Spanish parents can be rough, especially when you don't know your language. You're Spanish. You should know this. It's in your blood. I am a polyglot. ¿Qué quieres comer, mijo? I'm not calling my wife a cockroach, by the way.
You miss cockroach?
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Tato and
Mira.
And today I'm actually going to introduce the Dominican lifestyle to my family.
Okay, it's a meal, it's not a lifestyle. Okay.
But it's one of my favorite meals growing up. It's mangu, salami, and we're going to fry an egg so you can pop the yolk over top. Now, traditionally, this meal is also served with like a tomatoey sauce. But little man can't really eat tomato sauce because it's super high in sugar.
But I can.
But this ain't all about you.
Okay.
So that's what the egg is for. I'm gonna prepare it. I'm gonna teach little man a couple Spanish little phrases. He's gonna understand how to say mangu y salami con huevos. He's gonna love it. It's gonna be great. It's also served with a malt beverage of your choice. We like Goya, but today we got the tall bottle. So I hope you guys like it. Baby boy's a little fussy today. Muy loco.
This is the meal right here.
And let me show you, baby
Yeah,
boys.
this is his plate.
Oh yeah, you see that egg? Look, he wants to grab the food and eat it himself. All right, buddy. So today you're eating mangu with salami and eggs. Salami y mangu con huevos. Okay?
Oh, so mango is the...
It's the smashed plantain.
Oh, okay.
Do you say plantain or plantain? This is a common argument, especially in the Caribbean, because mountain and plantain are basically spelled the same, and a lot of people in Caribbean islands say plantain. They don't say plantain. So I want to know, what do you say? Here you go, buddy. Like the way that tastes. This was a big chunk. I think he's liking it. Oh, careful, buddy.
So guys, people have been asking me, actually, people have been attacking me, saying that it's not fair that I only teach Enzo French and not Spanish. What do you have to say to that?
So, I don't want to be a poser. I don't want to lie to people and act like I'm this most advanced Spanish speaker. I was raised here in America. Yes, my father is a full-blooded Dominican, and I was raised around a lot of family members that are Dominican. But my actual speaking of Spanish, I would say, is maybe intermediate. It's nowhere near advanced, and I would say it's on the cusp of actually beginner intermediate. I can understand a lot of phrases that people are saying. I can make general communication, talk about food. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? Me llamo Charles. Obviously, that's my name. Mijo, that's my son. If it was a girl, I'd say mija. And I can kind of get around town and kind of understand a little bit of things. But little man here, I want him to understand his culture. And obviously, as he gets older, he's going to learn more Spanish from me, maybe some of his family members. And it'll be his choice if he really wants to use it in his life or really embrace his culture. That's what my parents did for us. I love this meal. I wish I would make it more often. I think my son wants a lot of it. He is enjoying this. So maybe he's a little more Dominican than me.
A little piece of your culture, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You said that you're supposed to put tomatoes?
Yeah, so traditionally when you eat salami with mangu, or if you eat salami at all in Dominican Republic, you're probably gonna have like this really thin tomato paste with like water and a little bit of oil kind of sauce. She could have had it with her salami and her mangu, but I didn't want to make it because little man is too young to really eat processed tomatoes, and making tomato paste all by itself is a whole process. So today we're just gonna shortchange that, work with the egg. Look, he wants this. Here, I'm just gonna grab this with my hand. He'd be grabbing a spoon sometimes and just go all up in there.
Je me régale. Enzo, c'est bon? C'est bon? T'es content maintenant, hein? T'avais faim? C'est là que tu pleurais? Oh, je suis désolée.
Get some eggy. So, mangu is a pretty simple recipe. It takes a little while to boil a plantain. It takes about 25 minutes to 30 minutes. I kind of sped that up a little bit, boiled it a little faster, maybe 20 minutes on a higher water, because I didn't have time for 30 minutes. Nevertheless, a little bit of salt and pepper in yours. In his, I did not put salt and pepper. Again, baby boy should not be eating a lot of rich sodium foods, so I didn't put a lot of salt in there. But I did use a little bit of butter, and I used the water from boiling the potato, or boiling the plantains, to actually mash it together. That's a trick. Unlike regular potatoes, you know, plantains, they taste even better when you mash the water that they were cooked in. Just not too much water.
Mâche ta nourriture. Mâche-les.
To your foods, buddy.
People have been coming for me because I'm teaching Enzo French. And it's either, why don't you teach him your local language, or why you only teaching him French and not Spanish? I'm not teaching him my local language because I don't know it. My parents didn't teach me, so the next best thing is French. But as a parent, I'm always going to want to give him an advantage in life. And I can speak French fluently, so that's why I'm teaching him French. It also has a lot of advantage for the brain developmentally. It also helps him be open-minded, you know?
Yes.
You can have the best of both worlds. Speak English, watch shows in French, you know? When you meet people that speak French. So that's why. So I don't know how it turned into a negative thing online. I have a little surprise for you.
What?
You know what those things your mom gave you?
The maracas.
Mm-hmm. I want to make a performance.
You gonna dance for me?
I'm going to sing a song in Spanish.
There's this actual song that people used to sing. It's like, cucaracha, a cucaracha, something, 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 vamos a...
No, it's not that.
A cucaracha, yada, 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 yada. A cucaracha, a cucaracha, da, 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 da. A cucaracha, a cucaracha. I'm not calling my wife a cockroach, by the way.
You miss cockroach?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because it rhymed with the maracas. A cucaracha, a cucaracha. Da, 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 da.
Guys, you forgot something.
¿Qué pasó, muchacha?
Where's my malt?
Oh, I knew she forgot something. We got this little malt right here for my wife, but I just want to make sure it tastes right, so I'm going to give it a taste test. I'm not quite sure yet. Hold on.
Stop drinking my malt. You had yours.
Some more plantain?
Malt, guys. I love malt.
But girl, when I went to Dominican Republic, there's a couple times I've been to the motherland with my family. We took...
I forgot to put my ring. Go ahead.
You forgot your ring? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está your ring?
Stop yelling.
Mira, muchacha, okay? Find your ring. That's what you call Spanglish. Have you ever watched a telenovela?
No.
Like, that's the point of watching a soap opera in Spanish, is just to see them be dramatic
Yeah,
and loud.
but I don't need you to be screaming in my child's ear, please.
He's alright. Let's learn 1 through 10. Now, I can go all the way up to 100. That's actually something I'm proud of. I can do my numbers all the way up to 100 in Spanish.
Oh, let's do it.
But we're not doing that. We don't got time for that. We're going to start 1 through 10. Okay?
Unos, dos, tres,
Cuatro,
cinco,
seis, siete,
siete,
ocho, nueve, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I said I was going to go all the way to 100. I'm going to stop at 14 and leave it there.
Yo, it's similar to French.
It is.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Counting the numbers.
Yeah. And fun fact, I could even do it in Japanese. Ich, ni, san, chi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, ju. I am a polyglot. Right, buddy?
You're crazy.
When I
Look
was-
at the plate he served me in. What is this?
It's a nice plate. It's festive. It matches his plate. It's blue and it matches your outfit. Look at you, girl. I'm all about that feng shui. When I was younger, I did speak a lot of Spanish with my family. One of my favorite words was camayo, camayo, and música. We would always go on long drives, and depending on where we would go to see some of my family, there'd be horses on the way. And I love seeing those horses run. So like, camayo, camayo, mami, camayo. And that was like one of my favorite phrases.
How did you learn Spanish?
So my father pretty much spoke Spanish primarily when I was a child, and my mother learned Spanish when it came to getting to know my father. They didn't know each other's language, and they both spoke opposite languages. So they learned each other's languages, and when we were growing up, my mom spoke both Spanish and English. My dad, he spoke Spanish a lot, but then as we got older, it just got easier for him to talk to us in English, and he just kind of like stopped really focusing on Spanish too much. But the fun fact is that, and I'm sure a lot of you can attest to this, Spanish parents can be rough, especially when you don't know your language. The moment he'd be like talking to me and I didn't understand what he was saying, or I didn't respond correctly, he gets so mad and he would say, "You're Spanish, you should know this, it's in your blood." Like, of course he said that to me in Spanish. But I'd just be like, yeah, but you gotta teach me this. Like, I'm at school every day learning English.
English is a community language in America.
Yeah.
While Spanish is also a community language in America.
Spanish has become the #2 language in the world just because of how America dominates, and Spanish is so tied into our culture. And then you got Spain is so tied into Europe. So those two languages really dominate a lot of cultures across the world. But at the end of the day, my people...
Speaking of what you said about your dad calling you out for not speaking Spanish, Alright,
Good
speaking of that, I realized that French people and Spanish people are very, how to say this? So I speak English with an accent,
Yeah.
and people think it's cute, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to French and Spanish, if you don't say it right, people call you out. Yeah, and this is why my husband doesn't do a lot of Spanish content. Because people always want to comment and say, oh, you don't sound Spanish like...
Anything that you create online,
Yeah.
if you're received and people watch your content, they expect you to be an expert.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they think you should not make that video. So it's just like a subconscious mentality. It's competitive. People like to get really rough with it.
No, but French and Spanish people are they're less forgiving.
Yes.
When it comes to their language than English people.
Yes. I have coworkers in Latin America who I get to see during certain work trips. And they always ask me, it's the first thing they say, why aren't you speaking in Spanish, Charles? So whenever I see them, I'm like, hola. And they're like, uh-huh. I'm like, ¿qué tal? And they're like, uh-huh. Like, give me a full sentence. Give me a full phrase. How's your day? And then I always buckle and I crumble and I'm like, okay, let me switch to Spanglish. Because that's how I kind of navigate the world of understanding English and Spanish together.
Also, I think that the reason why I'm getting a bit of backlash from some African people in terms of me speaking French is because they say that we were colonized. and also because they think that I am ashamed of my tribal language. I'm not, I just don't know it.
Yeah. You know, people are going to make you feel some type of way. At the end of the day, if we want to express originality of thought, of mind, emotion, but still be genuine people, then we need to allow and teach that every language is okay to understand. Not just one language. They're all okay to understand, and they all serve a purpose in this world. My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Ulysses S. Horace, look him up, was the president of the country. So I am royalty. My son is a future king.
Why aren't we living in a castle? Right, we live in a castle.
Yes, we live in a beautiful castle with 2 rooms, right? One of them has all 3 of us in there. We get to look at each other's faces, see royalty every day when we wake up. You know? I love her so much that I want her to live with a white fridge as long as she can.
When you marry from love and not money.
She's crazy, okay? Give me some of that milk now. You don't need it. Your food's done.
You drank yours, now you want to drink mine? Okay, I love you.
That's right. Here you go.
By the way, I want to address something. I've been receiving a lot of comments of people saying I'm pregnant. I thought we had this discussion. Belly watchers. I'm not pregnant, okay? But honestly, it would be a shame if we only had 1 kid.
I mean...
You're Dominican, I'm African. 1 child only?
Maybe we can start a new trend. We can be the Spanish and African family that only created 1 child. And not a gang of kids. Like, your dad has, what, like 9 brothers and sisters?
11.
11. It's crazy. My dad, 29 siblings.
Exactly.
I mean, they got down there. So some of those are like half siblings. 29! My mom, her dad actually has 7 kids. My mom and dad had 5 kids. Here I am talking about just 1 child.
Hey, the clock is ticking though, so if you want a second one...
Well then, we need to set a goal.
What?
We need to get a bigger home.
Of course. That's your motivation.
So, what you gonna do about that?
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm holding down this house.
You're holding down this house with your bare hands?
I'm making content.
You're making content?
Stop making fun of me.
Stop making fun of me.
Baby.
Baby.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? I need space. I want to sleep with just my wife. No baby in the room. When you're hungry, buddy, I want you to say this phrase. Papa, yo hombre. Yo hombre. And then I'm going to say, ¿Qué quieres comer, mijo? And then you're going to say, yo quiero mangu y salami con huevos. ¿Sí? Quiero mangu. Quiero huevos. Quiero salami.
What does quiero means?
Well, quiero is one of those words that could be turned into different things. So it's basically saying want.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So te quiero, I want. Yo quiero, I want.
Te quiero?
Te quiero is you want.
I thought te quiero is I love you.
See, that's the thing.
Te amo.
No, te quiero is I love you.
Really?
But it's more like a need kind of feeling.
Oh,
you know what I
it's
mean?
more like...
Again, Spanish is like French, where a phrase can mean a couple different things depending on how you use it.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a couple ways you can say it. Me gusta, I like you. Te quiero, and if you say my love, mi amor. Or you can say te amo.
That's big, it's not smash.
You can match that with his teeth.
Oh, gosh, every time he gives me this piece of soul, my heart's about to drop.
Ah.
I have a little performance to do for my husband. Okay, here we go. Balala baila bamba. Balala baila bamba. Se necesita una poca de gracia. Una poca de gracia pa' mi pastilla. Y arriba, ay arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré.
Baila bamba, baila bamba, baila bamba, baila bamba.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you actually sang it completely correctly.
Really?
Yeah, you did a wonderful job.
Are you serious?
You probably actually sing it better than I would have.
Those-
But quisiera, baila bamba. Here you go, baila bamba. Here you go, baila bamba. Baila bamba. I want to thank you all for watching us feed our son, watching me kind of just give him a little experience of our Dominican culture.
Thank you so much for this meal.
No, seriously. Thank you all for watching this. Please leave a comment below. Let me know how you actually use your culture in your life. Do you fully embrace it? Do you use parts of it? Do you understand your culture? Do you want to learn more about your culture? And how you feel about, obviously, us teaching our sons Spanish and English and French and what other languages you've taught your children.
Yeah, if you're a bilingual family, make sure to leave a comment. At the end of the day, the universal language is love. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We love you guys and we'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to stay tuned because we are going to
New York!
with Enzo. So
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
this intro is a mess. What are we doing?
Subscribe below.
And give it a like. Love you.
Ciao!